sir. So we're back to the episode, and today we're going to talk about music, specifically music in general, but we might talk about a lot about R&B, where it was, the journey that's taken into the present day. And, we'll go back to what you were saying, sir, about how music is universal.
Yes, as I was saying, music is so universal to the point that it doesn't make a difference where you live in or where you're from. You can just have just a beat and people are going to start bobbing their heads and start tapping their feet. They'll get a little sway going on, right? And it doesn't make a difference if it's a folklore, if it's country and western, if it's R&B, if it's classical, or if it's rap, you know what I mean? And as we was talking about earlier, you don't understand the lyrics. Maybe whether it's explicit or non-explicit, just don't make any sense. But if it has a tight beat and a rhythm in it, people are gonna put a smile on their face, like, yeah, man, this is decent here. So that's one thing that's really universal that I believe that really brings people together. Now you can have a preference, right? But I've actually experienced this. If you have been somewhere somewhat secluded, there's nothing around. Let's say you out in nature. You may be out in the woods. You don't hear no voices or nothing. I don't care if it's country and western, if it's R&B, something that you really are into. But whenever you hear music, it's as if your ear just tuned into it. Mm-hmm. It brings a certain peace to you, a little bit of joy, some serenity, because you hear music and kind of uplifting. Now, as we know, music has been used to help people cope with reality. And people are hear some songs about sadness, and it kind of put you in that state of mind. Or if you want to feel joy, you put on something that's going to pick you up. So really, music is a strong message. It's so strong that it has been controversial probably ever since the beginning. Because even the Bible speaks of music, the angels singing and that sort of thing, where it talks about making a joyful noise, tamarines and cymbals and all this sort of thing. So music has been around forever. So it's just one of those things. It doesn't have to do with your nationality. It doesn't have to do with where you're at, with the demographics. It has nothing to do. This is why music is it's a powerful thing, and it can be used to manipulate people and believing that certain music belongs to a certain group of people. And again, music is universal. It's been around forever, and I believe just how we choose to use it, right, gives it its value.
Yeah, I think it's a super powerful tool that not even the people that are listening to it don't understand how powerful it is. Like, there's certain things that there's certain things that I think about that when you look at a music video or you listen to the song, they say some stuff and it makes you kind of want what they want. As I get older and everything, I'm like, okay, this is, I can get along with it, whatever. I know it's like watching The Godfather. I can watch The Godfather and I'm not going to try to join the mafia. You know what I'm saying? Because I know it's not real.
Right.
If you don't have that mental maturity, you're not mature enough, it's easily to succumb to it. I know even recently they was talking about how, this is kind of off, but it's a little bit on the subject. I remember back in the 90s when FUBU came out, they had LL Cool J on there talking about FUBU, and that's what, like, man, LL Cool J says FUBU, that's what I want. And the whole time, I just realized it. Like, it's something I just learned recently, like past few weeks, that the first commercial I remember seeing him on wasn't even a FUBU commercial. It was a Gap commercial. And he snuck FUBU on there and said some stuff that the Gap people wouldn't even track it. That he was, low key selling for Fubu. And I was like, yo, that was pretty smart on their side of that, because I was like, man, that's sneaky. If you don't understand the culture like that, you're like, yeah, he's saying he's rapping some cool stuff, and he said Forest Bias, whatever. And then not even knowing that they thought that was his style, his regular hat, not knowing that was a brand hat.
Right, gotcha.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's how a lot of stuff is sold. That's how a lot of people, get into the Rolexes. They get into, I mean, back in the day, it was what size of rims you had, because the songs were saying, hey, I'm on 20s.
Yeah, exactly. Think of, like, for instance, when you guys were younger and starting out in music and learning from your music teacher what was about, how it began, learning your notes and those sorts of things. It seems as if there was an innocence there, right? Because you were learning how to play an instrument, learning the correct keys and rhythm and keeping up with beats and that sort of thing. But music has been around so long, and it's such a powerful tool that we have people study music to the degree of how do we incorporate music to direct people in the way that we want to direct it. Whether it's television, commercials, it doesn't make a difference. We're going to use music to steer you in a direction that we want you to go. Mainly to what? Make a profit.
Allow me to show you something.
You can have someone speaking on how to make cups, or how to download an app, or what have you. And you're sitting there listening, you're gaining information. But for those that are really in tune to that information, you put a small musical message in there. Now they're listening to the music. And as they listen to the music, it enhanced that speaker. And as it enhanced that speaker on whatever topic he's talking about, it piques your interest even more, because like, wow, man, that's a cool little rhythm he got going there. So it makes you explore more. And it's amazing how our society, well, I'm gonna say this world, takes music and manipulate music to help manipulate people, them in certain areas to where you can spend your money. I even think about riding on an elevator. There is no music. People enter the elevator, you may say good morning, good evening, or whatever, and that's about it, the end of your conversation. But when they start putting music in the elevators, they kind of, well, this elevator ride isn't so boring. It takes the fear away. If you're scared of when the elevator moves or claustrophobic, it takes your mind away because you're listening to the music, right? Yeah. And it also gives you a talking piece. I remember watching an episode of Bill Cosby, and that was during the beginning of his show. I think they kind of revamped his style a little bit. And whenever the introduction come on to his show that the Cosby had, I remember him saying when he and his wife was dancing, the kids are dancing individually and stuff, and at the end, Bill Cosby would say, "That's the best elevator music I ever heard." And that kind of stuck with me, right? Because when I'm on elevators and I'm hearing music, or you calling in to get information, customer service, the first thing they do, oh, your wait time is this. But when they start putting music to it, it kind of lessens your wait time because you're hearing something. But if you're hearing something that you don't really like, it's boring.
Please.
But if you hear something that gives you the knowledge that you wait, it kind of ease the time that you have to wait. But my point is, as far as advertisement and things goes, music will enhance the listener to stay tuned even more. You're gonna purchase, or whether you just gonna. Sometimes it's just it gets inside of your head. Some tunes that you're not even thinking about. It could be a jingle that someone, and all of a sudden you remembering that jingle all day long and don't really know. But that's just how powerful music is.
Yep. I was just the other day just randomly singing that J.G. Wentworth song. It's Southern Cats now. You're like, I don't know why.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, they, like you said, I mean, there's a lot of, I feel like it seeps into your subconscious and makes you, like you said, you pay attention, depending on what it is. And I know a lot of times, that's why, people use headphones when they work out. Because it gets them, you got the music playing, or you go to the gym, and they ain't trying to be whatever, but they ain't playing no opera. They ain't playing, a lot of times they ain't really playing no country music. It's up tempo, like it could be rock, it could be metal, it could be hip hop, something that'll get your blood circulating and get you amped up.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm thinking about whether we're talking about Revolution, World War I, II, all that sort of thing. The military used music, especially in the morning, to wake soldiers up. Where there was a reveille, you salute the flag before you start, whatever it is, to enhance. I'm thinking about the battlefield, to help motivate the soldiers that was out there on the field that was about to go into battle. Whether there was a bugle playing, or drums playing, or something, they kind of amp the soldiers up. You know what I mean? So it's been such a powerful tool. And I'm even thinking about this. When we hear music, and it depends how we were raised, right? A lot of the times what our grandparents listen to is pretty much what we will listen to, and we will gravitate to our own style as we get older and things. But to hear someone say, man, that R&B, man, that I just don't like that. That R&B, man, that's the devil's music. Or, man, I don't know how y'all can listen to gospel, man. That stuff there, bro. It's it's this or it's that. Or you hear people say, music, man, what you gonna listen to country music? Man, there ain't nothing good about country music. You play country music backwards, you get your dog back, get your wife back, get all these things back. Or you listen to classical music. Also, you listen to classical music. Also, you must be wealthy, or you uppity, or you stuck up, all these sorts of things, right? So these stigmas that we attach to music. But as we do this, we don't like this, or we don't like this, or we prefer this, or we prefer that. When we think about it, it's a guitar that's playing. I don't care if it's in punk rock, heavy metal, R&B, country. It doesn't make a difference. We don't say we don't like the guitar. We say we don't like the music. But it's the instrument that's playing the music, right? Mm-hmm. And it's just different notes and rhythms that we play. You hear someone playing the drums. It doesn't make a difference if it's playing R&B, country, classical, or what have you. It's the drum beat. Mm-hmm. So we got all these instruments that's playing all this different kind of music. But it's so powerful that we get to the point in our mind, oh man, I can't stand that country music. What is it country music that you don't like? Because music is being created by the same instruments that's going to play. I'm trying to think one of these other blues, blues, jazz, or what have you, right? The same instrument that are playing the music that other little genres and stuff. People say, man, I don't like this, I don't like that. So what is it about music that you really don't like?
Yeah,
it's right. So I find that kind of amusing when people say, man, I just don't like that. But what is it about it that you don't like? Because, again, rap back in my day had a message to it. Mm-hmm. And I felt like, oh man, that was real rap. Mm-hmm. Now we hear rap today. I'm like, what in the world are you talking about, man? Mm-hmm. But the music, the beat, the rhythm is good. You don't like the lyrics, but you find yourself bobbing and weaving.
Yeah, I'm the same way. That's when it was like years ago when I started like, man, I must be getting old, so I don't get it. Because they had, they had some songs out nowadays, and this is probably like a few years old already. The songs that come out, and you like you said, I don't get it, but I feel like they skip the lyrics, almost skip the message, and tap in to the energy. So they go and they hit you with the, like I was listening to one, it was like, no. I was like, oh, I don't even know what you just said, but you got me doing what y'all doing.
Right.
That what was that? Panda. That it was. He just kept saying Panda. I was like, oh man. I don't know what you're saying, but I'm feeling what you say. And like you said, I mean, the game, I think, with a lot of it has to do with the internet and technology being more accessible to where I remember back in the day hearing a beat and wishing I can make something like that, you know, or hearing a rapper or hearing a singer like, yo, man, I want to get good enough to do that. Nowadays, I think I heard somebody say this too. Nowadays, like people listen to music and be like, yo, I can do that. I can do it easy.
Exactly.
And as long as you tap into that energy, and you do it and you get the right push, you'll be all right. Like when I heard Old Town Road, I was like, dude, I can do that. I can do that all day. I was like, I randomly had an idea when I was driving one day. Like, man, what if R&B artists just flip their songs into country songs? And when I heard that Old Town Road, I was like, man, I bet you all these other guys, Brian McKnight, he gonna be like, what's it? You're like a dream come true. What's wrong with you? I tell you, and it's because some of these guys, the way I like to listen to music is like you said, what is it about the music? Is it the theme? Because there's a lot of R&B songs that got country themes. Like a lot of when I listen to some older Brian McKnight, a lot of this stuff is a country theme. One Last Cry is a country theme. A lot of Boys to Men stuff got country themes. You know what I'm saying? If you're aware, all I do, like I said, it's goofy sometimes, but I'll be like, what if? And I think about it, and if it's the same kind of like theme, then it blends easy. It sounds like it's a country song. I did what was it? We belong together.
Okay.
And you know that I'm right. I'm like, that sounds like a country song, right? But
when someone watched this video and said, I never thought about it. Let me go ahead and take this hit that I had several years ago and make country out of it.
Repurpose it. Repurpose it. Because I mean, if you were to take the music out and look at the lyrics, you would think that's a country song.
Yeah.
But it depends on, it depends on how it's, and listening to music and learning a lot about music taught me that there's, you got the melodic part of writing and you got the actual lyric part of writing. Some people do it both easily, and some people are better at writing the words down, like you got a book of poetry and somebody else can get the melodies. All they got to do is listen to music and get that melody, and it's like in the pocket every time.
Right. It really amazed me. And for me, I believe, I know Ray Charles during his day was one of the what people like to call crossover, right? Because there was a black thing and a white thing and all country. Anyway, how Ray Charles was singing country music, but it had a feel of gospel country, a little bit of soul and all this sort of thing, right? And how his music will cross over genres and things. Whenever I heard Luther Vandross, and then people would mimic Luther Vandross because he was such a smooth vocalist. You sing ABC. When we was coming up, how do you learn your ABCs? Where you put it in a rhythm, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, from N, O, P. And then you hear someone like Luther would say, A, B, C. It makes you wait a minute. This guy can take an ABC song, lyric, trying to learn ABCs and put such a nice melody and flair to it to like, man, let's go ahead and put a beat to this. We just made us a whole brand new song.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, man, it's there's a lot of giftings that people out there we don't really think about. And one of my country favorites was Travis.
Mm-hmm.
Randy Travis had this, what I consider a twang to his voice that was just unique to who he was singing with or whatever song he sang, you knew that distinctive voice belonged to Randy Travis.
Yep.
With Hootie and the Blowfish, right? When Tucker was singing, you know who that was. So a Stevie Wonder, Gladys Knight, and Aretha Franklin,
Patti LaBelle.
It's like, wow, how is it that they can take a note, stretch it, bend it, chop it, do whatever they want with it, and make it sound so good and inviting and captivating that you just want to hear more. You want to hear more. It just really amazes me, right? So,
Anita Baker. I mean, a lot of them have those distinctive styles, and like you said, it ain't really. The lyrics can be good, but what they do with their instrument that they was born with is like, it's mind-boggling. How did you think of doing your run that way, or just jump into that key? That's the thing that I feel like. If you grew up, if you're a singer and you want to be a music artist, and you grew up with gospel, you got like 10 times an exponential head start against everybody else. Because I feel like those guys who grew up in that school and way of singing, vocally can do things that people don't even think to do. Like, I listen to songs, and I don't know if it's a time frame, because the people nowadays, if they didn't grow up in gospel and they sing in R&B, then they don't have, I don't know, it sounds kind of plain. It's got to be a well-crafted song. Like, it's got to be on point. But if you be solid in out the studio, I can catch you live, and it's going to be like amazing performance and stuff.
Yeah.
To me, you got to have some training in the gospel side of the game, because what gospel does, the melodies and the chord progressions that they use when they sing is like, I don't know, it's on another level to me.
Right, because so much came out of that gospel, and what I believe the transition is this: it's the emotional attachment to the song. It's something that you felt. It's such an, for instance, you were trained to just sing by using voice versus instruments. The instruments came in with the voice. A lot of times you have the instruments and you take the voice to match the instruments, right? Back then, sang with, this may sound kind of cliche, but they sang with intent in that song. I'm intentionally singing this song because it's something I feel, something that I am living, something that I am now currently going through, to the point that people sang, they didn't sing with trying to take a note and do certain things with it. It just came natural because that's how they felt about and where it went. They may feel something this day, but sing it a little different tomorrow, right? Because the emotional attachment to it at the time that they sing the song. Because what I see now is there are so many, and again, the reason why I said music is so powerful. You can take an individual and teach them how to sing with practice and practice and practice over time, that they sound really good. Then you have those people who have that natural ability, but they've never studied music, never was taught vocally, that just naturally, I don't care what it is that they sing. They don't have to have music, but when you put music with it, it just adds so much more to it. And they sing from the heart, that even today, especially with technology, right? Because you got so many different things that you can add or ad lib to vocals to make them sound better, to enhance that individual. Versus if you're hearing them without everything, say, wait a minute, man, wait a minute. Y'all didn't sound like the record that I heard. Man, the way y'all sound right, man, I can do much better than that.
Yeah.
Because music is gaining so much more popularity and so much more powerful, that with technology, You don't have to go to a certain group of people who's producing music and depend on them, because you can use technology pretty much teach yourself how to do things, that you come up with new ideas, that you can put out quality music right there in your own home using a laptop, a microphone, a synthesizer, or whatever it may be that's at your leisure, in your disposal. You don't have to wait and spend money going to a studio, and with your own uniqueness produce something that's catchy for everybody. And I say, like, and even like with songs that I grew up in, hearing music from the 50s and 60s and that sort of thing, when we, Motown sound. When people sang songs, there was a message in that song, also with the music incorporated in it, puts you in a certain emotional state, versus music today, as if we just sing it just so we can make a hit, money off of it quick. And not to say that there are great artists today, because there is, where you put, I'm gonna say, blood, sweat, equity in your music. Back in the day, it's not done so today, because there are many things that happened in the past that people use today and sample it, put it in new songs to make this artist do it much easier and much faster, right? And to me, it contributes to the power of music. The people that has been singing songs and playing music way back when, that has kind of paved the way for upcoming artists, new artists, old artists, and put music together today. But it's just, music has now become so much more commercial and available for folks that, you can just do just about anything you want.
Yep. Yeah, but I mean, the way I always wanted to be was, if I was to create a song, I'd rather have one song that would stand the test of time than like 10 hits right now, but nobody remembers like 5 years ago. So I mean, like a man, what's the dude? He just died recently too. He wrote "Lovely Day," "Grandma's Hands."
Yeah. Oh shucks.
Where you it's not Otis Redding, right? Because that's somebody different. Yeah. No, Otis Redding. Feel so good to use me up. That dude, I can't remember that dude's name. I'll think about it and I'll write it. I'll write it on the thing. But he's so prolific that everybody, just the two of us, like everybody, I can tell every song I just said has been sampled numerous times. Like people have remade it and sampled it a whole bunch of times. And I'm like, I don't know if his deal was right and he got paid the whole time, but that's, in my opinion, that's the way you should, every artist should be thinking about that. Like, hey.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right, because I mean, think about old groups like Temptations, the OJs, the Wishers back in the day, even the Commodores. There was just songs that were sang that people still singing them today.
Yeah.
I remember hearing the song "Lean on Me," right?
Yeah, Bill Withers. There it is.
Listen,
yeah,
that song has stood the test of time and will continue to stand the test of time, because you can add little things to it, but it will always be that song. It'll always be that song. And that's a song that never gets old. You're absolutely right. There are a lot of songs that people, R-E-S-P-E-C-T, Aretha Franklin.
Yep.
That song would never, ever get old. Would never get old. Now, I don't care who sings it, right? Whether you put a country western flair on it, you make it classical, you make it pop, you make it rock. It doesn't make a difference. It has stood the test of time. It will always stand out. And it will always remind you, wait a minute, that's an Aretha Franklin song.
Yeah.
I don't care who sing it. That's Aretha Franklin's song.
Yeah.
In other words, she has put her stamp on it, and it has been approved by the world. I don't care what language you sing it. That's Aretha Franklin's song.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Yeah.
That's a true testament to a vocalist. Somebody who's like, you up there. There's a lot of people that, there's a lot of artists that are really good, but they ain't necessarily got that top tier vocalist status, because it takes a lot to get that, to where, hey, if you're at that level and somebody else sing your song, they can do it justice, but they can't do it like you do. Or like you said, if you hear their voice and it's like, oh snap. Like, every once in a while I'll go back and I'll listen to, like you said, Luther Vandross. You can listen to Whitney Houston. I seen something recently where she was just playing around and went, I think Pavarotti and a whole bunch of opera singers were up there doing their thing, showing, not showing off, but like showcasing, like, oh, and she just went in there, freestyle, and sound like a professional opera singer. Like, I'm like, man. And she, it was like you said, talent, like natural, God-given talent, like, and what she used to do, like, with her voice was ridiculous. Like, you go right now, and like you said, I think Dolly Parton wrote that Bodyguard song. And, but she did it okay back then. But everybody hear that song gonna be like, that's Whitney Houston's song. You know what I'm saying? Even though she was the one that remade it, Whitney Houston's the one that, like you said, put a stamp on it.
Yeah, I tell you, it's amazing. But the thing about technology today is this, because again, even with music, it's all about making money, and really versus showcasing the talent and the natural gift that people have. It's really boiled down to how much money can we make and how fast we can make it. Because when you look at someone singing today with technology, you can make millions off of one song today versus back then. They had to sing that song I don't know how many times and never made millions off of it. But today, people can sample and duplicate yourself and make millions off of it, right? So whenever talented people had that put their stamp on things, and it stood the test of time, and people are still singing those songs and making a little different version and making it their own, shows the power and the genuineness of that song, that people still, they just continue, they want to, as a memory, as commemorative to whoever sang it, to continue to reproduce that song and that music. I feel as if you have so many, but let me back a little bit. Let me say this. Even though you are able to showcase talent and see it with these shows that they have on The Voice, and America's Got Talent and all these sorts of things, right? Even looking at The Voice, where you have professionals who, what we consider has made it in the music industry, will help improving these artists, the upcoming artists. It's not up to them, it's the people who are voting for these people, right? Mm-hmm. So it's not necessarily that you find a singer who may be separate from everybody else and really have that talent to sing songs. It's about popularity. Not to take away from people who have talent and who can sing, but I believe it's about what you consider now. How well can you sell yourself? How can we package this individual versus forget trying to package them. Listen right? To their talent. I see this guy. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. Eddie Swims or something like this. This guy has a unique sound, and he's all on YouTube and things, right? And I'm listening to this guy's sound, and he duplicates a lot of other people's songs, and he's singing some of his own. And you just listen to him. He has such a unique sound. He has a soulful sound that if you ever hear it, you'll know who sang that song. And even though he may sing somebody else's song, you know the artist that's singing that song today. For instance, it may be a Bill Withington song. It may be a Pharrell song. It may be anybody else's song. But when this guy sing it, he kind of puts his own stamp on that. So you know, man, that's Teddy Swims right there, man. That boy tear that song up. So it kind of contributes to the original artist that's singing and the new artist that's singing it. Versus an individual who have been taught how to sing. And again, I'm not taking it away from anybody, but there's a lot of training and vocals and that stuff that goes into it to try to hone your craft. But there are people that are packaged, that society packaged them and promote them to where people say, oh, this guy's really good. No, they're not really that good. It's the way that society has packaged them and put them in the forefront and the limelight and playing the songs over and over, make you believe that this person is really good. No, they're not really that good. Versus someone else who have a certain look, who don't have a certain style, but can sing their tail off, has an awesome gift, but because they aren't packaged like this other, right? So that song doesn't sell. You don't hear them that well. But this is what I do love about technology, that you can go beyond what people try to push on you, that you can see a vast majority of everybody all over the world. All over the world. So, yeah.
They'll have some people, like you said, the technology, the bad side of technology is makes everybody feel like they can do it. but the good side of it is it gives, I don't want to say even playing field, but it gives more of an even playing field, or even, makes it a little bit even to the regular person. Because like you said, there's a lot of people that have record deals, and everybody thinks that they number one, or they the greatest R&B person on the planet, and it's like,
right.
They can't hold it. Maybe somebody, I'm trying to think right now, if anybody is watching this, I want them to write somebody down in the comment section who's out right now, who's out in the streets, that's better than Brian tonight. You know what I'm saying? That can do vocally, stand, on the same stage, and not get embarrassed by Brian tonight.
Right.
Even Evan Campbell. You know what I'm saying? That dude vocally can take out a lot of people.
Yeah, it's and at times you only hear certain parts, right? Because again, it's about packaging and those sorts of things. When you, I'll say this, when I first heard, what's her name, Jennifer Hudson. Is it Hudson? Jennifer Hudson. When I first heard her, she had such a natural ability in things. You knew that her level of commitment to a song, that she put her heart and soul into her music, into her singing, versus just singing. I knew people, excuse me, that could sing, and I call, let's see, how do I describe this? They can sing, but they are, I'm gonna say, one-dimensional singers. for instance, let me think about
I would say like a Christina Aguilera. Like she can technically sing, but I don't. Not really. There's not, like you say, there's that, to me, there's that one dimension. Like you can technically hit all the notes.
Yeah.
There's just something missing. I don't know. I can't, I can't really find the right words to say, but there's something missing that I feel that, I don't know. Every time I see her and she tries to hit all the notes, I'm like, yo, you're trying too hard. I'm not saying that there's not a song that I don't, I mean, there's songs that I've heard from her that I enjoy, but
yeah.
Like you're saying, on paper, the resume and everything, it looks great, sounds great, but there's something extra that, I don't know. But that's what I think of when you say one dimension.
Right. Yeah, because it's like you hear the song and it's pretty. If you take away the music, it's the same. You know what I mean? It's the music that kind of enhance them and give it a little bit of different version of them versus someone that can sing gospel, they can sing R&B, they can sing classical, they can sing. There's different levels to them, and the different levels that they have enhances them because they are comfortable with what it is that they're singing, that they don't have an issue with it, right? They make it seem flawless, they make it seem easy, but I think it's just their level of talent that they have to someone who has been trained to sing and hit a note. Mm-hmm. You are taught, look, sing this in the key of E, sing this in the key of G or whatever, and you hit those keys. A person that just have that natural gifting, they may not sing it in the key of E or sharp or whatever key they sing it in, it's going to be great. It's going to sound good. And you sit back and say, how in the world can you hit that note in that key when normally in that key it sounds flat, it's dull, it's too sharp. And you make that joker sound good. You know what? You can sing in whatever key you want to sing it in. Yeah. You have that type of talent of people, right? To me, the ones that really, really stands out versus one who has been trained vocally to sing and hit a note, and then you train them how to riff, right? Mm-hmm. Person that I've heard that can, and again, I know nowadays it's about if you can riff, oh, those are great singers. Well, it's being taught nowadays. It didn't come naturally. You know what I mean? It didn't come naturally. You're being taught how to riff versus someone who just opened up their mouth and they put the old flair on it. It's like, man, I never thought about listening to it in that way. Those type of singers are the one I really like listening to. And again, I don't care what genre of music that they sing. It's that individual. Like Charlie. Listen, when he was singing with the Gap Band, he had a distinctive sound, right? But now that he has come back and he's a solo artist, look, I don't care what Charlie Wilson sing. That brother gonna make it sound good. It's gonna be Charlie Wilson. You're gonna know who it is. Man, boy, that Charlie Wilson, man, I don't care what you put in front of him. He can sing a WhatsApp. Yeah. And it's gonna sound good. Yeah. Well, it's gonna sound good. You don't have to worry about it. It's gonna sound good. Mm-hmm. So,
and that's the struggle with me. Is like I can name a whole bunch of people, who's been in the game a long time, mm-hmm. that will do something similar to what you're talking about. But I'm trying to think of the young people, and maybe it's just we're so flooded with, the prepackaged artists that the independent artists that can really do, continue the legacy of, the previous R&B regime or whatever. Did. Allow me to show you. I don't know if that's the case, or if, what it is, or if people are more focused on money or what. But like, it's one of those things where I don't know. I mean, it's just one of those things where I hear stuff. There's too much songs out that I hear that I feel like I could do, and I shouldn't be. I feel like I should be like, man, I can do that. I can do that. I can do that too. Man, I should be number one right now. Nah, right. It should be that way. It should be like when I listen to Brian McKnight sing a song, I'd be like, yo, I need to practice to get like that, like, man. And then if I to get close to try to, but I know I can't do what he can do. Like, I'm like, there's no way. There was a dude that I might have showed him to you a while ago that he sound just like the dude. I was like, man,
Wow.
that's talent. That's talent.
Yeah. And you know, it's amazing that you kind of categorize folks because of the market and how they push the market on the consumer and the viewers, even with radio and that sort of thing. Because you hear those songs over and over and over and over and over, that mentally it kind of gets impacted in you, that whenever you hear the song, you only think about that artist singing that song. And because you hear it so often, you kind of grow accustomed to hearing it. So it makes you, for some people, go out and buy that music, right? But whenever, for me, I hear, for instance, there's this gospel artist, guy by the name of Gary Oliver. And when I first heard Gary Oliver,
allow me to show you something.
He was singing this gospel song. You can say, oh yeah, that guy's black. Oh man, no, that guy's white. She's this, he's Latino. This guy, I thought, was a black person singing this song. I'm telling you, I thought he was literally black. And I said, man, I got to find out this song. And whenever I found out his music, when I went off his CD, and I'm telling you, this guy's, the way that the guy sings is something that he feels in his music. Whenever he sings, whenever he delivers, whatever it is that he's singing, you go along with it, right? And you can feel him in his music that he has become one of my favorites. And it's like the songs that he sings and how he sings them is not, let's see how I want to say this. You know, yeah. Well, you know how some people sing a song and the next person sing it, the producers, because this is what's selling in the market right now today. You got to sing a song, put a delivery this way because this is what people are buying. This is what they're hearing. So no matter what song that's played, you got to do this way. And when I hear this guy sing, and again, it's gospel music, the way he sing his song, it has uniqueness to it that lyrically, you kind of think, how in the world is he putting these words and these phrases together to make him sound like that? Because in his songs, I'm getting twisted. I'm like, how in the world this guy's taking these words and putting it together to where it comes out flawless? You know what I mean? That you have those type of people who can sing a song, and let's say I'm looking at, I got this WhatsApp open, and it says more than 2 billion people over in 180 countries use WhatsApp. If a person sang that, if a person sang that sentence, it would either be more than 2 billion in over 180 countries. They have to put it in rhythmic, right? So there's a breakdown of how they have to deliver that sentence in a song to make it sound good, to fit these notes. And you have another person that can take that whole entire sentence and sing it, that you're like, how in the heck did you take that and fit it within one breath? Put a little, put your own flair in it, have some, some ups. It's like, how the word did you deliver that way? And it's like, sometimes that can't explain it, right? I don't know. All I do is just say it. But to me, a talented individual right there, right?
Yeah.
Very talented. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing is, and like you said, the great thing about where the game is going is similar to how YouTube is. Like, you know, there's people that are stars or doing real big things, making a lot of money on YouTube that before YouTube came out, would nobody know them. They would have to be discovered by an agent and then put on TV or whatever in order to get where they need to go. But you know, now with everybody having access to upload their music to whatever platform they want for people to consume, if you got the right songs that get to the other people, that get to the people and make them feel the right, you know, emotion that they want to feel or they need to feel, you won't make your mark. I mean, the way the game is now, it's almost like it would be easy to be signed to music, get signed, sign a contract to whoever, you know what I'm saying? But it's better to do it independent. I mean, it's a little bit more work because you got to know how to do marketing and all this other stuff. But you can easily do it on your own because the tools are on your phone. You can have a phone or a computer, but everything is on your phone. The way the thing is now, like, hey, I can, you probably do need a computer to do a few things, but the majority of it you can do on your phone.
Yeah.
To blow yourself up, or
Right.
you don't need to pay anybody to print CDs because a lot of people listening to it on Spotify or downloading MP3 or whatever. So all that is that's one less thing you got to worry about. But yeah, like you said, that's one of my favorite things about social media is I can not know somebody. You can be in the Philippines and I can randomly come up on you singing a song. Like, man, who is this? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
People,
right.
And that's talent, that's raw talent that was just out there, and people come up on it and it snowballs. And that's what I like about it. Like, you can be not known yesterday, and then by the end of the month you're on the news. Somebody talking about your talent.
Yeah. And what I like about today's technology is too, as you were saying, you can learn so much more. You can be so much more than just a singer. You can learn how to build own music. Decline that call coming in. And there's so much more that you can learn how to just really improve you overall than just being, because back in the day, and I'm quite sure we can find them nowadays, what they used to call one-hit wonders. People come out and had a hit song and you never hear it from them anymore. And then when you go back and kind of research, okay, what happened to this individual, what happened to this group? What I found out is, for whatever reason, they was at the right environment at the right time, but they didn't write the song. Someone else wrote it. They sang it. Someone else produced the music, but they sang it, and it became a hit. After that, the same people produced it, same people wrote it, are no longer associated with them. So they fell off. One, because they didn't write the lyrics, they just sang it. So you got someone who can sing, but the ones that's producing this song, that has put this song together, has put the music and stuff to it, really are the ones that will dictate if you're going to make it in the music industry or not. Because if you have, what's this? There's a show that I've seen here that where these I think it's 3 or 4 talented people. Let's say an artist want a new song, and these 4 individuals interview 3 people who have songs that they're trying to make it in the music industry, and they write a song, and then whenever they come in, they perform that song, and these other 4 people listen to it and say, yeah, this would be good for this artist. This won't be that good for that artist. So they're critiquing the songs, and they're also tweaking the songs to fit this certain artist, right? And I think, well, wait a minute. If this is a known artist, right? And again, I understand how the music industry and stuff would work, but I would think as a professional artist, I would learn, not only am I a good singer and understand music, but I would be able to write my own stuff versus having to depend on someone else to come up with their creativity. Instead of spotlighting them, pay them to take their creativity and now make it mine, and I'm making millions off of it, like as if I'm the one created this music. No, you didn't create it. Someone else did. You just paid them for their creativity. You made it your own because these talented people made this piece of music fit for you, so you can go sing and make millions off of it. So the creator of that music don't really get too much credit, and you don't hear about them, right? And I'm thinking, wait a minute, to be in our business side, but for me, I have a lot more respect for people who will sit down, that has honed their craft, come up with their own lyrics, put music to it. Now, I'm not saying that you don't get help from other folks, right? But you put your own music to it, you build it from scratch, and you sing that song. It's your own, because this is what you felt about the song. Not that someone else wrote the lyrics and now telling you how to sing it based on how they wrote it. So now you got to sing the song based on how they wrote the song and how they want to hear it, versus it came from you. You sing it the way you want to sing it because you created it in the rhythm and how you want to present it. You present it your way versus their way.
And that's one of the things where I've always been like a huge fan of writers. Yeah, writers. That when I hear a writer, I'm like, man. I think I don't know if I told you, but that's one of the things that, like, I was watching back in the day. They had a show called Making a Band, and I can't remember. It was like 98 Degrees, one of those boy bands or something like that. They were getting ready to write a hit, and I can't remember, it was Jerry Heller or one of those guys that was, he was like owning all the bands back in the 90s and stuff. And they all got in a limousine, and he was like, hey, this is the writer, they wrote this song right here. And I heard the song, I was like, yo, this is fire. And it was a middle-aged lady. So middle-aged lady wrote the song.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo. And that's when I kind of started going and researching and finding out. And I always started to look at the credits and find out who wrote the song. And
Gotcha.
You always, I think it's natural. You give a little bit of extra, like, reverence or get extra cool points or whatever when you find out, like, oh man, this dude wrote their music too, or man, that hit, dude wrote that hit. Like, when I found out that Neo wrote songs for Beyonce and Mario and all this other stuff, I'm like, yo, that's where it's at. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So yeah, that was one of the things that I always and how these guys, kind of like what you were talking about, how they're able to write a song with somebody else's viewpoint. Mm-hmm. Like how did, like, how did you get in the mindset? How did Neo get in the mindset to write "Irreplaceable" for Beyonce? Mm-hmm. Like, how did you get in the mindset? And it sounds like it's, I don't know how to do it. I don't know, it's probably psychology, a whole bunch. I guess
especially now I know you can write the lyrics, and you kind of have a certain tune, I believe, as you're writing the lyrics, right? And you would think of, you know what, if such and such sang this song, they would do it justice, kind of that way. But without having for me, a close relationship with someone, to write a song for a person, it's difficult. There's a talent there in a musical ear that for a songwriter, to be able to write a song to fit someone that they really don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it comes out being a hit. And I don't know if there are many of those people. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, there are a lot of singers, but I don't know if there are a lot of people who can write songs for people that they really don't know and say, yeah, if you sing this and sing this way, it's gonna be a #1 hit. It's gonna be in the top 10, and it's in the top 10.
Yeah. I don't know how that. Yeah, it's baffling to me because I mean, when I write stuff, it's always in my vocal register. You know, so I don't even know how you write unless you like, you know, falsetto or something like that, and this is how the person would sing it or something. But I mean, it's already difficult to write something that would work for you yourself.
Yeah.
But you know, like you're saying, how do you write for somebody else? So they, like, for one thing, their point of view, how they will react, and their vocal register. Like, how do you? That's a lot of stuff.
Right.
Like you said,
Yeah. Yeah. Unless you have a talented person, that it don't make a difference what you write.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna sing it how they're gonna sing it. It's gonna come out sounding good.
Yeah.
And you say, look, man, look, lady, we're going with that right there. We just gonna put some music to it. Gonna add some music to it. But no, just continue singing like that right there. We don't have to do nothing. I'm just gonna write some lyrics. I got this poem or whatever that I've written. I have some thoughts. Read this, and how would you sing it? That's the natural talent I believe that people have. That when they look at some lyrics and stuff, oh, okay, and they will build that what they read, and then they sing it. It's like, I don't care how they sing it. It's just gonna come out good.
Yeah. And when you say that, that's what I say the other part of writing, the melodic part. You got to write the melody, the notes that you got to hit when you say those words. And I think that if I just came with a poem and you made it sound good, you deserve half of the credit, you know, or a good portion of the credit, because it takes both of those together to make that hit song, or, you know, to come out, because, you know, I can write words and anybody can say it and mess it all the way up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. Yeah, yes. Wow, yep.
But yeah, that's one of those things that I'm like, you know, yeah, you say it takes a special person, and a lot of it has to do with that emotion that they're putting into it. Like you was talking about the gospel singer, and I think when I think of rap and I think of emotion, I think of Tupac. I think like, okay, when you hear that dude rap, you feeling what he's saying.
Yeah.
A lot of other people out there in the past and in present that can lyrically use more adjectives, use more rhyming words, use all types of metaphors and similes and all types of little skills that one would say makes you a great rapper. And out talent, out whatever, Tupac. But Tupac, you know, was saying some real stuff, and you felt what he was saying. He put the energy into the music, and you felt that energy.
Yeah. I think one of my favorites of Tupac is the one he put. I don't know if it's the title. Is You My Queen Mama, something like that.
Yeah, Dear Mama.
Yeah, that one. I think that's my favorite right there, right? Because you knew what he was coming from. You knew exactly what he was saying, and he was giving praise to his mom, and he was saying the reality of his life, right? And not only did it mean something, but there was a strong message in it. And for me, that one showed his respect for his mom and what she had to go through, and though she had her shortcomings too, that he didn't blame his mom for his lifestyle and what she understood it, and he kind of worshipped his mother, and the avenue that she had took, and again, life isn't fair, but at the same time honored his mother with that song. I'm like, man, that's like one of my all-time favorites of Tupac right there. And and as you was just saying this, I'm thinking of other rap artists and things. They just have a sound, right? And just because they have a sound kind of made them sound unique. But they could, for instance, you take a lyric that really don't mean nothing, but because of their sound is what sold that record. I'm trying to think of the young guy, what's his name? DMX.
Yeah.
DMX doesn't, to me, he doesn't have, I don't know the guy, but when I'm hearing him rap, right, it's just his sound. Hey, yeah, dog, gonna give him, yeah. That's what sold music for him. But whenever you listen to what he's talking about, I'm like, huh? Yeah, somebody put a little catchy phrase in there, but that's about it. Whenever you look at the lyrics, what is being said is it's, you know, again, it really, I guess, you know, depends on how it's delivered. Yeah, we're gonna go to the corner store and get these 40s. We're gonna smoke a blunt and look at these shorties. And I'm like, okay, then you put music to it and get hip hop, and I'm like, okay, all right, yeah, I get it. But then you look at the lyrics and say, man, if it wasn't for the music, I ain't buying this right here. He's not talking about anything.
So I will say that his first album is he says a lot of straight stuff in it. But as time progressed, a lot of people was clowning on because he was just like kind of like what you were saying. The snake, the rat. It would be like da da. He just pointing out words. The chair, the car, the street. We all.
Yeah.
He's like, yo.
I'm like, wow. It's like, wow, man. It's gosh, and you know, it's yeah.
When he and now, you know, I don't know everything about the guy. I heard, you know, I seen something in there recently that, you know, like back when he's 9, somebody he looked up to got him on crack and kind of messed him up. But I will say, I will have to say, like he was saying when his first album came out, he said a whole bunch of good stuff in that one. But as he got more popular and he just came out with these hits and stuff, you know, it was a lot of it was the delivery. A lot of it was the delivery. You know, and people just know that, oh, this is DMX is rugged in your face. You know, but you over here listening, and you like, man, this dude just is literally in the booth just looking at stuff. Like the cat, the dog. And you know, and you like, yo. Come on, man.
Wow, yeah.
But I mean, I don't put it past him because that was that amped up energy. You know.
Yeah. Definitely was.
You know, and I would say the same. You know, Lil Jon. He had the amped up energy, but nowadays, like I say, I feel like they just tap into that energy, and I don't even have to say words. Like it's almost like when I try to write a song and I got the beat playing, I'll like kind of freestyle, and some of the stuff I'm saying might not be words, but I'll be singing it or whatever, or in a cadence, rapping it in a cadence, so I can kind of get the template of what I want to say. So it's a whole bunch of fill-in sounds and words to make it before I like, okay. And then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put words in there afterwards. But this is how the cadence is supposed to sound, or how the melody is supposed to sound. But it sounded like they didn't even finish that. They just did that that pre-version of writing and didn't finish it and put words in there. But you know, they know what gets in these what drills in these guys' heads. And then, you know, sometimes saying something catchy, and then nowadays you gotta do a little dance. You do a dance to it and get everybody on TikTok or the internet doing the dance to your song. That's that marketing right there.
Yeah. So I guess the upside of that is you got to be a pretty good salesperson. Yeah, you got to be a really good salesperson, because again, you're not saying much, but you just selling the product. And the product you're selling, oh man, yeah, we like it. It don't mean anything, but the product is good. Yeah, people gonna buy it. Yeah. We really like this right here. Man, you hear how he sound like that? Oh yeah, man, everybody gonna want to do that little sound. Like, you know, like you saying, Lil Jon. What was it saying? Yeah. Okay. Come out the blue. Yeah. What? Come out the blue saying stuff.
Yeah. That's definitely, you know, like you said, I mean, consumerism. Maybe people got, and I guess I was about to say people got too greedy for money, but then again, a lot of these media corporations prey on poor people.
Well, yeah.
If I go to the streets of Chicago or whatever and get a dude that ain't never had nothing, they say, hey man, I give you $1 million. Go ahead and glorify what you're living right now.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. I mean, a lot of people, what people rap about, people end up, unfortunately doing or getting influenced by. I'm not gonna say they're gonna do it,
Right.
but they get influenced by, because you hear people sipping on lean and doing all that type of stuff. Like being a druggie, being a faded out druggie is basically what's hot in the streets now. And that wasn't the case. That wasn't the case. The case years ago, if you took it 10, 15 years back, it was selling drugs. Now it's doing drugs. It's what's hot in the streets.
Yeah, and again, that's the power of music that society really don't pay enough attention to. Because when you can take music and use it as a weapon, to target certain groups of people, to keep them oppressed, downtrodden, keep them in a state of less value and that sort of thing, and make them feel good about that, to make them feel like they're crab in a barrel, that ain't nobody else gonna get out either, because if you start to climb, I'm gonna pull you back down, and sell that to people. And because when we grew up in the ghetto and in the projects back in the day, not that it was a bad environment, but you knew that, well, listen, you wanted to, it's like, well, I'm not gonna have children and raise children and promote my children to live in a project. It's like, no, I'm gonna raise mine, again, get a good education, get a good job, use your talents, whatever, to get out of the project, whether to go to suburbs, get your own house, travel, or whatever it may be to better your life, right? To the point that even the artists and stuff that came out of those areas, they weren't getting money and economically surpassing their peers and stuff, still living in the ghettos and projects. They weren't doing it. They was moving out. So it gave hope to the next kid that, look, if he and she they did it, I can do it too. Even with whenever, if you look at sports and that sort of thing, athletes aren't going into semi-pro and pro so they can still live in the projects. No, they're moving up out of there. They may come back to visit every now and then, but they're not wanting to stay there. But music is so powerful that we're taking music and catering, well, not catering, but subjecting this music to certain groups of people to stay where you are. We don't want you to get out of poverty. No, we don't want you to get out of the project. No, we don't want you to stop killing each other, because we're going to produce the music that says, oh, you're going to get got. Oh, I'm going to get mine. Shoot this fool over here. And it's like, and we compact that music in those certain areas to now, you're not looking forward to the hope side of things or improving yourself. It's like, I'm going to glorify being a drug addict. And I'm okay with that, because I got music that make me feel good about it. And I'm thinking, come on, people, we're going to have to wake up. Why are we letting society subject us to things that, again, part of it is not to be embarrassed, not to feel shame of where you live in, right? I understand it's okay to feel good where you at, but to improve yourself to improve your lifestyle, your kids, whatever, shouldn't depend on a systematic type thing that is promoting you to stay right where you are, because we're going to target you because we know you're the ones who's going to spend the money. First of all, you don't have the money, but you're going to spend the money. You're going to buy this music. The reason why you're going to buy this music because we're going to make you feel good about being a drug addict. We're going to make you feel good about living in poverty and those sorts of things. And we kind of buy into it because we can have some feel good music. And that's all you hear. They'll pump this stuff up loud as they can in the car stereos to where the bass is crackling and sound raggedy. But we're gonna pump it up and talk about, oh yeah, pardon my French, nigga over here, I killed this fool. And I'm like, man, come on, bro. You're smart about things, but yet you're ignorant about things. You know what I mean? But they live their life of glamour in that box, in that shell, because this is what, sadly to say, the marketers are pushing in that area. And the thing that really gets me, and again, the power of music. We can put this message in the people who are suppressed and oppressed to try to make them feel good about themselves, because we don't want them to be successful in society. Then we can take a society where we see that people are being successful at, we won't put that same music in that area. We're gonna put a different style of music in that area, not only to make them feel good, but elevate them and suppress them. You know what I mean? And it's amazing how we allow this stuff to happen. You know what I mean? To the point that society buys it. And it's again, to me, it's a form of racism, because it's a form of people control. Because nowadays it don't make a difference if you are in the projects or if you are in what society like to say, a mobile home park where the poor white kids and stuff live. We're gonna put this music around you to keep you right where you at. And the people over here on the other side of the track, we're gonna put a different vibe of music over here. It's gonna feel good, but you're gonna go out to the country club, you're gonna go out to a nice dinner and stuff that's gonna elevate you further up. We're gonna keep y'all pressed down with this music over here. And I'm like, man, this, I understand there's good and evil in the world. And so happens that people who have the resources
Allow me to show you something.
will take music because it's such a powerful tool to use it to suppress people. And at the other hand, elevate people that they can try to control people with.
Yep. I think you boiled it down. It's tough. Tough part of reality, but that's what it is. Like almost every facet of life, you got to look at. The people that got the means, they got the resources, like you were saying, are using everything they can as a tool to control.
Yeah.
Not to be like end up on a sour note. That's a fact. That's a fact. So I don't care what part of the game you look at, whether it's movies, television, music. Like people use that, medicine, whatever it is. People, you gotta look at the people that have the means. Whatever they can to control the masses. And like you said, suppress people. So we got, and I'm not gonna get on the tangent. I was gonna talk about Monsanto and stuff like that, but I guess we talk about it another time. But, yeah, sir. I mean, I think this was a good talk. We talked about all the different areas of music and how powerful it is. I mean,
yeah.
I even look at it, it's almost like a time machine, because I don't know about you, but there's certain songs that come on and I'm like, boom, man, it's like 1997 right now. Like anytime I hear, I feel like it's I don't know, the song came out in the 80s, but I feel like it's the early 90s. Anytime I hear that Saturday Love song, I don't know why. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I hear that joint. I'm like, hey. I feel like I was listening on the radio or something like that. But that's I don't know. There's a lot of forms of art, and I think
Please.
it's debatable. But I personally feel that music is probably one of the most strongest, most powerful forms of art. And it could. I think that we can use it as a positive tool, but it is and will be used as a form of suppression and control, because people can, people had the means to do it, so they're gonna do it.
Right.
You gotta try to dodge and guard yourself.
Yeah.
What their intent is.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yes, like I said, is there anything you wanted to shout out or mention before we go?
No, everything's good. Just encourage folks, keep listening. Keep listening to the positive message in music. Again, music is worldwide. It's universal. It's what brings people together. It don't make a difference. Your lifestyle, what nationality you are, where you're from, how you was born, how you was raised. It's just one powerful tool that, like you was just saying, it can uplift people. It can motivate you. It can also tear you down and make you depressed with some music that you listen to. But for the most part, music is a positive form of worship. And, for one, don't let people put a stamp on you about the music that you choose to listen to. The lyrics may be a different thing, right? But the music itself, I don't believe there is anything called bad music, because it's played with an instrument. It really depends on how it's used and in the tone that it's used. But for me, all music is a beautiful thing to listen to. It's a lot of times the lyrics that comes with and how it's delivered. But music is a beautiful thing.
That's it.